WIU is the home to many leathernecks, and in order to keep your home safe, we want to talk to you today about sexual misconduct, discrimination, and harassment. Western doesn't support or condone any of these actions to anyone on our campus. This includes students, faculty, and staff. If you ever find yourself a victim of any sexual misconduct, harassment, or discrimination during your time here, we want you to feel confident on knowing what actions to take and where you can turn for help. Let's review our campus resources so you know where to go and who to talk to should you ever need it. Western Illinois University prohibits sex discrimination, including the offenses of domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and stalking. We work continuously to reaffirm our campus commitment to maintain an environment emphasizing the dignity and worth of all the members of the university community. At Western Illinois University, sexual discrimination includes dating violence, domestic violence, gender harassment, discrimination based on pregnancy and parental status, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and stalking. Retaliation is a separate cause for complaint. Retaliating against an individual who has reported or filed a complaint alleging discrimination or harassment is strictly prohibited. Individuals who disregard or delay investigation of harassment claims also violate this policy. Sexual activity of any kind requires consent. Consent is defined as an informed, voluntary, and freely given agreement between participating individuals to the sexual conduct in question. Consent to engage in mutually agreed upon sexual activity is clearly communicated in words. Consent must be acquired prior to and contemporaneously with sexual activity. Consent can be withdrawn at any time, given that it is clearly communicated by the person withdrawing it. Silence, passivity, or manner of dress does not equate to consent. Past consent does not indicate present or future consent. Consent cannot be given by an individual who is asleep, unconscious, intermittently conscious, under threat, coercion, or force, under the age of 18, or otherwise legally unable to provide consent. A person who is incapacitated as a result of drug or alcohol use, voluntary or involuntary, is incapable of giving effective consent. Incapacitation is defined as the inability to make informed, rational decisions because the individual lacks the capacity to give knowing consent. Individuals who know or should have known that another person is incapacitated must refrain from engaging in sexual activity with that person. Further, drug or alcohol use is never an excuse for violating this policy. If you experience sexual misconduct, get to a safe place. Preserve as much evidence as possible. Seek medical care and other necessary support, and report the incident to a Title IX coordinator and/or appropriate law enforcement agency if you're able and willing. A victim or reporter can choose to seek confidential resources to cope with the effects of sexual misconduct, harassment, and discrimination. This does not constitute filing a complaint and does not officially notify the university. The advisors provide confidential, emotional support and assistance in making decisions important to the well-being of the victim. We encourage those who experience dating or domestic violence, gender harassment, discrimination based on pregnancy or parental status, sexual assault, harassment, or stalking to report directly to WIU's Title IX coordinator. The Office of Equal Opportunity and Access will provide survivors with information regarding interim steps, investigation procedures, and will assist in stopping the misconduct, preventing its reoccurrence, and addressing the effects. Survivors have the right to choose whether to report the alleged incident to Western Illinois University, law enforcement, or both. You have the right to privacy. Western strives to provide an environment that is free from discrimination and harassment for faculty, staff, and students. Western's policies prohibit discrimination and harassment on the basis of sex, race, color, sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, religion, age, marital status, national origin, disability, genetic information, veteran status, and any other classes protected by state or federal law. This policy covers non-discrimination in both employment and access to educational opportunities. Students, employees, and applicants for employment can report non-emergency incidences using several options. You can report an incident anonymously, but we encourage you to provide as much information as possible. Should you find yourself a victim of sexual misconduct, discrimination, or harassment, you can fill out the harassment, discrimination, sexual misconduct form located on our website, make a report to the Office of Equal Opportunity and Access by emailing title9@wiu.edu, or call the Office of Equal Opportunity and Access at this number on the screen. Report the incident to WIU's Office of Public Safety by calling 911 or 309-298-1949. Contact the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights for additional information. Their Chicago office contact information is here on the screen. The completed version of the Western Illinois University Discrimination, Harassment, and Sexual Misconduct Policy can be found here. You can also visit wiu.edu/EOA for more details.